Outside of words, you must be really serious.
I just the two. I'm trying to.
I understand. Take a breath. Eat your apple. Get all your baptist space.
That's hard. In my car. Dang it. Huh? Yes. All right, I am going to bring the Grand County School District Board of Education regular board meeting to order. It's Wednesday, December 17th, 2025 at 5:18. We are here at the district office and available via Zoom. And if you are here to speak to the board, please fill out a public comment card and pass that up. Please sign in. There's a sign in clipboard. You want to pass those around. If you haven't signed in, please put your phones on silent or vibrate. And all board members are present. Matthew and Jerry are here. And let's do the Pledge of Allegiance. Would you like to lead us with the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You? Will you read our mission statement?
Yes, our mission is to put each student first everywhere.
First up, approval of the agenda.
I move we approve the agenda as presented.
Is there a second? Dave Risha makes the motion, Jenna Woodbury seconds. All those in favor of approval of the agenda, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. That passes first. Okay, public comments. Read, oh yeah, we do have a public comment. The board appreciates the opportunity to hear from the public during the comment portion of this meeting. Before we begin, a reminder that the public comment period is to allow members of the public to provide input to the board in its capacity as a legislative body. The public comment is not a forum of discussion or debate between the board and the members of the public. The board does not engage in discussion during public comments, but may later follow up on comments made during public comment. Each individual will be allowed up to 3 minutes to provide comments to the board. The board will not allow public comment during board meetings that are slanderous, obscene, or otherwise violate state or federal law. Employees and or their representatives may not use the public comment period to address issues that should be raised through existing formal communication channels or established grievance or negotiation procedure. Okay. Public comment. Dennis Wells is here. You're first up on the.
First up,
First up.
I was asked by Principal Kari Kaler, and I've been discussing with Ron Dolphin. We're looking at maybe trying to get our football team to go 8-man football, if not go independent, which means, well, the problem is we were really low on numbers, and you seen last year, I think after about the 5th game, we probably should just try to play a JV schedule instead of playing varsity, because we're throwing all of our freshmen out there to play games, and it shouldn't be like that because our numbers, and we're going to get somebody hurt. So we're looking at, after talking to Coach Dolphin, we're looking at maybe trying to go 8-man. I don't know if we'll be able to go this year, but at least do an independent schedule where we can play these smaller schools to try to get the numbers up, get our confidence, because afraid that the boys may quit coming out for football if we keep playing these teams with 60, 70, 80 kids, and we're barely 25, 30 at the most. And so we're just looking at, just letting you know, we're looking at trying to go 8-man. And at least this next year, probably do independent because they did not have realignment until next year where they'll even discuss that. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Can you tell me real quick, the big difference? I mean, I'm just, obviously the difference is smaller schools we're playing. Is it-
8-man
are there
football.
Private schools that we play? or-
8-man footballs with the smaller schools like Monticello, Monument Valley, Whitehorse, those smaller schools. And normally we wouldn't do that, but the last 5 years, we're so low that we're not doing it to try to gain an unfair advantage. We're doing it to try to save the program, to get more kids out and get them excited for football again. And hopefully within the next 3 years or so, we can come back up. We just need to get the numbers up. We don't want to get somebody hurt.
And what's an independent is?
Independence where we make our own schedule, we do schedule. We won't go to the playoffs. We're just gonna play 10 games against these smaller schools so our kids can be competitive. Because last year, before I left, I set the schedule as it's the weakest schedule we've ever had. And we did that on purpose because we rescheduled Providence Hall, who hadn't won a game in 2 years. And they beat us 60-something to 6. So it tells you how low, because we're playing a lot of freshmen. It's like playing a C team against varsity. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, thank you.
Anything else?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Dennis.
Good.
Okay. Next is Hunter here? I think he's out of the basketball game.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And no one in this place, right? I don't.
Nope.
All right, board recognitions, students such the. We have, there's Holly, okay. You're meeting.
Great. We have a few here tonight, but we will take them. I'll go ahead and announce all of them. So for kindergarten, we have Colin Cordero, and this is what was said about him. So he is truly a special member of our class who exemplifies what it means to be a hard worker and a good friend. He always puts his best effort into every task, showing a love for learning and that lights up our whole classroom. Not only is he a dedicated learner, but he's also a great friend to all, always kind and willing to help others. His caring heart makes everyone feel welcome. His fun-loving, silly, and joyful personality brings smiles to our faces every day. Congratulations on being a hardworking, caring, and valuable member of our kindergarten class. He's not here. Yeah, he's not here. Oh, round of applause for him. Okay, Richard. Yeah, come on up. Is that you? Bridger. Bridger is not only always on task, he is a hard worker. He diligently follows directions and is always willing to share his learning and his ideas. He is kind to everyone, he has a positive attitude, and he is just such a kind boy. Congratulations. Congratulations.
Oh, that's not her, that's it.
That's a kindergartner.
Yeah, there you go. There's Bridget, right? Want to keep that?
Yeah, I'll keep that. All right. So for second grade, Zana helps keep our classroom going. I can always count on her to be ready to learn and ready to help others. Our classroom is truly lucky to have Zana there.
If you wanna, do you want a picture?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right, second, Remington. Remington is incredibly kind. He is always willing to help others. He also tries his best to learn new things and sets a perfect example of respect and responsibility. So way to go, Remington. Okay, Sephora Alvarado. She's extremely bright, lively, and very friendly. She knows everything about how the class runs. She has excellent behavior and is curious and adept to many topics. Her bright future ahead of her will help her to become a valuable asset to the community that she chooses to live in. So congratulations, Sarah. Jocelyn. Jocelyn is in Mr. Josh's class. She is kind and thoughtful and works hard to achieve her goals. She is a good friend and a talented student. She is a wonderful addition to our learning community. Then our last one is Blaine Jones, 6th grade. I'd like to nominate Blaine as our student of the month because Blaine represents remarkable character and resilience. This serves as an inspiration to both his peers and our staff. Blaine has to miss school because of his broken leg, but when he returned, he diligently made up all of his work and continued to help others. Instead of dwelling on the difficulties, he channeled his energy into studies and supporting others. I really appreciate how patient and kind Blaine is to his peers. Thanks for being a wonderful role model, Blaine. Thank you.
Next is Gary with the middle school.
I don't see either of my students. Do you still want me to read their spiel or do you want to skip it?
You want to do next, invite them next month?
Yep.
Okay. High school, Corey.
Okay, we have 2 students of the month. One is here, so we'll read his. I made a deal with him. He could sit down while we read about it. And then you might have to stand up for a picture, but we'll see. So Cooper is the son of Jason and Jennifer Taylor and was recognized this month. His favorite class is Miss Lloyd's, and he admits his toughest class is simply the first one of the day because he's still waking up. He's taken part in cross-country, track, swimming, theater, earning a Spirit Award in both cross-country and swim. Beyond school, Cooper has helped with the Moab Half Marathon and participated in a local Broadway production. He also spent the last 3 years working for Western River Expeditions. He said one of the biggest lessons he's learned is that we can all be friends, and he encourages younger students to run with Jacob. A nod of staying active and sticking with teammates who push you in a good way, huh? Okay, teachers describe Cooper as hardworking, thoughtful, and constantly kind. They highlighted his growth in cross country and English this year, his habit of helping classmates get what they need, and his attentiveness to friends and feelings. They said he brings a collaborative spirit to the classroom and is always ready to pitch in. Congratulations, Cooper.
Get up there. Cooper, get up there.
Take your picture.
Thank you.
An appropriate time to speak out if you want to speak out.
Bye. Yeah, sneaking in here.
All right, HRS spotlight. This is.
So just an update on what we're doing is we'll be bringing these updates as we have our regular board meetings. We've completed the campus survey review with all 3 campuses. And they individually with their teams work with our certifiers to identify areas of improve and have plans. Again, we're focusing, as we talked about in the last board meeting, culture, collaboration, and communication and safety, highlighting those areas. And then we are going to be bringing in some PLC training on the 16th during a professional development day, not in addition to our HRS efforts, but as part of our HRS efforts to have that communication and collaboration fine-tuned and kind of do a recalibration of our PLC efforts. We'll be hosting, and I can't remember which is which, but in the morning, there will be the secondary, a secondary training with the middle school and the high school, and then in the afternoon, that's scheduled for 3 hours, and then we'll have a little bit of a break, and in the afternoon, we'll be bringing in the elementary for some additional training, and that's kind of to help structure that training to where we're at in the buildings and where we can get the most bang for our buck there. And then after that, we'll be reassessing to see what type of additional PLC support we'll be looking at bringing in to just make sure that we're not dropping that part of this effort. And again, I want to be very clear, it's not on top of, we're not bringing something else on. It is part of the collaboration piece of HRS level 1. So that's our HRS spotlight.
Is that January 5th?
That's January 16th.
Who are we bringing in and what's their?
Garth Larson, and his specialty is recalibrating PLC groups. He's got a very, very good reputation and he travels all over the country. I think when we've talked to him, he's been in New York and in Bozeman, Montana, and everywhere in between as we've been setting this up. We do have some experience. He's done some work in cash, so we have our own little reference check there. And again, yeah, we've met with him a couple of times now to talk about exactly where we're at, where we need to go, and then we'll be meeting his administrative team tomorrow afternoon with him, the administrators and our instructional coaches to try and just make sure that we're geared up and ready to go.
What did you say, please?
Larson, and I can send it to you. So just a little spotlight, just to kind of, and just something we're going to start putting at the top of these meetings. Just to, make sure that the board's able to know what we're doing and can give us an opportunity to hold ourselves accountable on progress. So thank you.
Any questions? Department presentation? No, all right, yeah. So this is the spot for site visits. So Sue Winkler is here to present on SCSD and CTE. We had a site visit on Monday, specifically SCSC and adult ed. Trish will be doing her presentation next month at a meeting tonight.
So, best laid plans, right? I had a beautiful presentation for you today. In fact, I think it's probably the best one I've ever created, if I can say so. The computers, I couldn't get the wireless to work or the program to work, and so I didn't get it finished. So I hurried up and typed up some notes of just items that I'm going to cover quickly. Thank you for giving me the time to do this and for coming over to the SCSD. We were grateful to have your visit and have you come see what we were doing. We appreciated that. With the CTE program, I'm guessing you're all pretty familiar. I'm glad Kari's here to kind of back me up if I say something wrong. So CTE is a program for career and technical education that focuses on high demand, high wage occupations. It helps get student college or career ready, and it also provides pathways to post-secondary education or certificates from industry. So students can earn certificates through CTE here, or they can go out to industry and earn actual certificates that they have to use on the job, which is pretty great. We are part of a consortium. So what I'm reading off of this one right now. We're part of a consortium, which includes Carbon, Emory, Grand, San Juan, and USU Eastern, Moab, and Blanding. So we get lots of opportunity to meet and mix together and make plans. Everybody get everything okay? We get to work together a lot of times with state CTE. We get little benefits for being part of the consortium. Like if we're applying for a grant, we might get a few more points if we're working as a consortium rather than just working alone. So it's really great to have these people as support and to kind of help us work through professional development and things that are happening within our region.
We do have a 5-year plan that we're working on right now, and it focuses on these 6 things: student performance, which is not only performance in CTE, but also performance in English and math, and I think science. And so it's not just focusing on what we're doing in CTE. So we get really good data from our CTE students regarding other subjects. We also focus on program quality, workforce alignment, teacher recruitment, equity and access, and safety. Safety is kind of a newer one that they're really focusing on. Each teacher has a safety plan that we go through during the year. We're working on those right now.
So your slideshow works.
Yeah, it's really great.
It worked, but it's not done. I
Oh,
don't get into
I'm sitting here going, wow.
Okay, it's pretty, huh?
It's just
There. Okay, sorry about that.
I'm like,
I had a severe panic there for a minute. So it'll go for about 10 slides and then it'll kind of stop.
okay.
We have to have an advisory committee, which we do, and we look at that every year. And what they're supposed to do is advise, assist, and advocate. So we're there to work with them to find out what's needed in the industry. They help assist our students. They help us clarify like what equipment. So we could have an advisory member come in and say, you know, that wood equipment's out of date and we really need something like this. Or so those are the ways that they help us really get a quality program going.
Are those local people?
Yes.
Okay.
They'll be from our businesses here. I did just find out that we are hooked with the Chamber of Commerce. So I'm really gonna start getting over there and hooking up to more businesses and have more capacity to carry out these jobs for the kids. There's lots of clusters and pathways, and I don't want to get all involved in that because it's a lot. But there are 32 pathways, and Grand School District offers 15 of those, which is really great. I was quite surprised when I came here, having only 1 teacher in each subject, that they could offer that many pathways. They've worked really hard to get those together. And what that means is, let's say a pathway of engineering would have engineering classes in order. They would have to take 3 credits. And at the end of that, they would get a certificate that says that they are a completer. And that just gives them something to take to an employer to say, I took 3 engineering classes. I took 3 full credits of engineering classes, and this is what I learned from that. It just kind of helps them get a foot in the door, which is really nice. So you can see there on that list, those are the ones we have currently. What I'd like to bring in is working with USU, possibly welding and construction. And then we're very close to offering a protective services pathway, which is police and fire and what do you call the emergency fire when they go wildfires? So we're working on getting a program together like that. We're very close. We have a, Officer Robles offers 2 of our classes to students, which is really great. We do offer internships, apprenticeships, and capstones. Internships are a non-paid job where students go out and help in the industry that they want to work in. So if they want to be a teacher, they might go visit and work with a teacher. An apprenticeship is paid. So they could go and work in welding and get paid for that job. What I'd like to bring to the district is a capstone experience. I'm applying for a grant, doesn't mean that we're going to get it, but a grant that will help us put 2 pathways together. So creating a business pathway with, let's say, a graphic arts pathway. And what the student would get by doing that is the business background, also the graphic arts background. So let's say they're really interested in skating. They could take a woodworking class, make a skateboard. They could go into the capstone and get it made, market it, do all of those things that businesses do, look at the financials, and then actually sell that product. So they're getting a full experience of what it might be to run a business. And we're looking at that for a couple different areas. So I can tell you more about that as soon as we see if the state will allow us to do that. The grant I'm working on right now is called a planning grant. So it would give us money to research the area and find out what's really needed here. So that's what we're looking at. We do tests in CTE each pathway, and each class has its own skills tests. And if they pass those tests, they get a certificate. On the back of the certificate, it says what skills they had to complete. And then we also have credentials of value. A really simple one to explain would be, it's a industry certificate. So the kids that take culinary arts have to get their food handler's permit. So they get an industry certification for that. On the next page, it just shows you which, we call them CTSOs, Career and Technical Student Organizations. They are listed here, and these are the ones that we have currently at the high school. All right, funding. I put in a chart here to kind of show you where we've been and what's happening. So you can see for this year, I didn't put the information for 2023 for basic. The enrollment money has gone down. The summer ag and the skills testing, so we get money to run a summer ag program. We get funding for skills testing. So every student that passes those skills tests I was talking about will get a little bit of money for that. We do pay partially for the counselor at the school. And then two things were taken out this year. We lost our money for CTSOs for the clubs. So that was about $6,000. That will no longer be funded. And also for the CCA program, which is eighth grade in the junior high, and seventh. What is it?
CTE is 7th grade.
7th grade.
Career.
Thank you. It's called College and Career Awareness, and they learn about all different kinds of careers. And what I like about CTE with that is that students get a chance to find out what they like, and probably more importantly, what they don't like. We don't want them to get into nursing if they can't stand the sight of blood. So they can try all these different kinds of jobs and really look at what they really want to do. Anyway, so I'm showing you this so you can see the money has gone down a little bit. This was a big year for CTE to lose some. They really kind of drilled in. One of the things I can say that Kari brought up, which is a great argument, is we didn't have any money taken away this year. Last year, I believe we lost $300,000 between all of it. And this year we're going to stay pretty even, which is great. And the cost breakdown is on the next slide. So you can see most of this goes to salaries and benefits. Teachers.
For CTE enrollment, is that saying that enrollment's gone down?
No, it hasn't gone down.
Yeah,
The money's changed.
just the money, the allocation
Yeah.
per, like maybe a CTE WPU thing.
So the money is based on the enrollment from the year before. So
Right.
remember last year I said we're gonna hit a cliff because of the
Gonna go
quarter year,
down.
and then, so this money is based on the 4-period quarter schedule.
Right.
So the enrollment hasn't gone down. I mean, the enrollment did go down because we went from 6-period tries to 4-period quarters. And so that's the net effect. Luckily, overall, we didn't lose a lot of money because we kept our portion of the pot.
Right.
Yeah, and the CCA money and the CTSO money, basically, they felt like we were double dipping as humans
Right.
because we were getting this money for getting people to nationally affiliate. But in order to get your 25 WPU that the state gives you automatically, you have to have at least 3 nationally affiliated CTSOs. So they felt like, we give you this money for the CTSOs and this money, we're gonna take one of the 2 pots.
Yeah.
And we think this pot's equalized, so we're gonna keep this one and get rid of that one. Same thing with CCA. Basically, the money's still there, it just got put into the big old puzzle, and basically it's not delineated specifically for the 7th grade CCA class.
Right. So hopefully there's funds in there there are funds for those 2 programs, and we still have to run them. We
Right.
still have to run CCA, and we still run CTSO so we can get the other funding.
Right.
But it's coming, they don't like the add-on idea. Not the state, but the people who are looking at the state don't like that add-on idea. So they're trying to put it all in one big pot instead of having all these little breakouts.
And what's the Perkins federal funding?
That is money that we get from the consortium. We got 40,000, consortium gets an amount of money. And it helps pay for the person over.
Perkins, pathways, and your work-based learning coordinator, all that.
Work-based learning.
The work-based learning is.
So it helps pay for that, yes.
So previously, when we got Perkins funding, we only got about $30,000, and about 8 years ago, the state said, we have all this money, this federal money, Perkins money. If you make consortiums, we'll give you more money. And so the Southeast, like some of the big districts, like Alpine probably, I don't know, but they probably went, "Oh, we don't need to make a consortium because we already get like $3 million, right? But we got 30,000 and now we get about 90,000. About 45 of that goes to equipment or supplies, that kind of stuff. About 5 goes to like some travel and training, and then about 50 goes to having a college to career pathway coordinator. And our pathway coordinator helps us work with USU to develop our programs, like she's talking about, I want to bring in X, Y, and Z. And then they also do our work-based learning / internship program.
So who is our pathway? Is it Grant School District employee or is it a consortium?
It's a Grand School District. For us in Grand, it's Caitlin Bowden.
Okay.
It was Ashley Violet.
Got it.
Yeah, so a lot of that, about 50,000 of that will be spending on equipment, and things that we need that allowable by Perkins, I think.
So part of it, just in context, is like last year when we redid Hank's computer lab, the consortium called up and said, hey, we have an extra $50,000 between us and USU Eastern. We were the only 2 that applied for funds, and so the consortium contributed about 25,000. How much did they give us?
I think 27 or
27?
24 or 27.
For Hank's computer lab, and then the high school just had to kick in like 13,000 because you had to show matching funds. So that's
Sure.
that's a benefit of being the consortium. They got extra funds towards the end of the year. Catch was we had to spend it in like 10 days.
Yeah.
But if there was already a plan in place to replace that drafting lab, and this just gave us the funds that we didn't have to spend general funds out of. So that was a Perkins thing also.
At the end of this, it just tells you there's a couple other grant opportunities. I did apply for a special projects grant earlier. It's about $60,000 to replace some equipment and get the labs back up. I still haven't heard about that, and they haven't decided yet because everybody's asking for money from social projects. So the Catalyst Center grant is the one I was talking about that I'm applying just for the planning stage of it to see if it's something we want to do here. And I'd like you guys to be involved in that. We did talk at SCSC for a lot. Oh, do you have any CTE questions? No. The SCSC, just in looking at some of the data, you can see here that this was 2022. The graduation rate was down to 73.4 here in Grand, and the state was 88.2. Since the SCSC has been open, that grad rate's gone from 73 to 85.22, which is only 3 percentage points away from the state level. And I know that we can claim all of that because we work really hard at the high school too to get kids through, but I think that kind of just shows that extra little help, how much our grad rate can go up with things like that. We did talk a little bit about what was new over there. Biggest thing I think is revising our processes and procedures, making sure that we bring kids in the same way, that we take kids out the same way, that they're expected to complete the same thing as the students at the high school are to complete in a credit recovery class. I think we have a few more options going back and forth. And I know I told you when you visited that we have kids leaving for 1 class or 2 classes to go back to the high school, which is really good. And then just a clearer process for moving forward. So I think that's our big hit right now, is making sure that we clarify everything so that everything runs as it should and smoothly, and everybody knows the expectations. What I have handed you is, this is the pathways. So the things in blue are called clusters.
I didn't hear.
Oh,
there's stuff here. Sorry.
And the pathways are underneath that, so I'm sorry, that's going back to CTE. and we have 15 or 20 of those. Great. The other handout I gave you is our college and career fair. We were looking for businesses to participate. It's February 27th. You're welcome to share this, but we'll be getting it out on media and other places. We're really asking people to be hands-on this year. So if you're coming, what are you going to do? If you're a hairdresser, are you going to come teach girls how to do their hair, teach boys how to do their hair? If you're going to be the fire department, what are you going to do that's an active program with the
Hands-on.
kids? So yeah, we're trying really hard to make it really hands-on and fun for the students. So
Who's
Um,
coordinating that?
what's that?
Who's coordinating this?
It's
You?
us and we'll be working with USU. We kind of run the thing, yeah. So it'll be at the high school, probably in the gym, but if we have more than that, I'm not sure. We may have to go into the hallways or outside or what we
That's
can
the
do.
day before prom.
Yeah,
Oh. The day before prom, so it won't be in the gym.
No.
I'm so glad you told me that. That's great.
Yeah, we'll work to coordinate that.
Middle school's open.
I thought we
Middle
checked,
school.
everybody we
Middle
could check
school.
with.
Yeah. good idea.
That could be their day.
Yeah, right.
Grasping a straw.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, we have that planned, and then the other thing I gave you was just more information on the SCSD. This is a proposal I started that it's done, but it just will give you information about all the things that we've already talked about. It shows you the attendance and the behavior and things like that in the CSD. And then this last one, Matt, this one right here, yes. This one's really nice. It's from the state. They do this every year. You can see this is 2023-24, so it's always a year or two behind. So during this time, 430 students in Grand County enrolled in CTE courses. The graduation rate for students who are concentrators who go to the second level graduate. If a student is a CTE completer, 100% of them graduated. So you can kind of see there, the CTE really helps them as far as graduation. And then I'll tell you how many kids concentrated in a pathway right down here. And the top pathway is on the back, which is kind of some fun information about what your kids are taking in school. That's it.
Just some background, I'm sorry, information when this proposal. So we asked the county commission to fund 3 years as part of a grant process. Anybody remember what that card?
CRT.
TRT,
Yeah.
when they did proposals, and so
Yeah.
um
To improve workforce initiatives within the community.
so they funded that. So that was our initial
Seed money, really, right? To get it
Correct.
going.
To get it
I mean, we got, yeah.
going, and then hoping that it would provide provide for itself, but was the goal.
Was
Yeah,
it?
so that's an
Yes.
updated proposal.
They just gave it for that year. I mean, we could have spent it all down.
They gave us a chunk of money and we decided how we were gonna spend it.
So before you sit down, Sue, now that you've sat down, you're good. I just wanted to comment on, and I've shared this with the board members, and I think they probably echo this, but our site visit at the SCSC was fantastic. Market improvement from how things were running when we visited last and when I last visited it. So I'm just, thank you. I don't know if that's, I'm sure it's a combination of a team, and I don't know who the initiator is, but it was very impressive to see how it was being run currently. So job well done on Kari, that goes to you, and to please share that with Ethan and Alyssa and wherever credit's due.
Right.
I'm not sure exactly where it's due, but I just wanted to highlight that is impressive.
And I have a follow-up question. The person that was teaching the language arts, what was her name again?
Alyssa.
Yeah. So she was talking about wouldn't it be great if these kids could walk at graduation, some of the ones that
No.
are earning, is that ever gonna be a possibility? That's a state of Utah thing, right? So
No,
that,
that's our
That's an
policy.
is that our policy? Is that something that we ever,
You're looking, So that would be us.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I just wasn't sure if it was a state thing.
Do want the graduation.
I know.
The ones that did the.
If they get a certificate.
If they get 24 credits, whether they get it from adult ed or the SCSC, that's a Utah State diploma.
Mhm.
Those students have
Do not.
have not participated in the ceremony in the past. However, the new policy that you're gonna pass for standards-based productivity basically says if they get 24 credits or the earn the state of Utah diploma, they have to be included in the graduation ceremony. What it doesn't differentiate, which is interesting, is the age of the person. So right now, we made that separation mostly because some adult ed people are not age appropriate for that graduation ceremony, so we just did it separately. Now,
And to clarify, the board will have the direction or discretion to have to participate in a graduation ceremony. It does not have to be necessarily the same
Be
ceremony. So it would either be a separate or it would be incorporated back in. And as we get into that, we'll be discussing the pros and cons of both.
does do a separate ceremony that the kids who got the 24 credit diploma were part of. From the beginning, we have pushed our kids, if you want to walk through this G, here's where you gotta get. And they have those who care
Right.
to walk through the G, get there.
Okay.
And then they can participate in this.
It's a carrot.
Gotcha.
It's another carrot with
Something.
the,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
What policy, do you know the letter?
It's part of our pathways.
Pathways to graduation,
graduation
or
policy.
pathways to high school completion, something like that.
And that's one that we talked about bringing back and personalizing to us
Okay.
because it was part of the new policies that we reviewed.
But we haven't approved it.
That actually is approved as it's written
Okay.
with the Utah School Boards Association, knowing that we plan to revisit that
This year?
this year.
Okay.
If you remember, I think that was 2 board meetings ago.
I think it would be great to include all of the students who are age appropriate to walk with their class. It is nice to be able to say, like, if you do 8 more classes, that you can walk with your class and sort of challenge them to do that, and they rise to the occasion. But also there are some of them who have such extenuating life circumstances that getting to 24 is a feat for them. We just have never allowed that 24, and so it's sort of been like, here's where we're at, here's what we do.
And
But there are many people, even within the high school staff, who would love to open that up as well.
And I think as we have this discussion, we'll be pulling in administration from the high school and so to have that have that feedback so that we're looking at from, because it can be both a motivator, that's also a very emotionally charged
Correct.
argument. And then we, want to look at the data as well. So, yeah, gear yourselves up for a lively discussion. Any other questions for Sue?
Remind me Skills USA.
I'm sorry, what?
Can you remind me what Skills USA, what that?
It's mostly tech, like, automotive, welding, that kind of thing.
My only comment is, and this is my point of view, if you're ever advocating for changing, like state days of DECA, like skills, all the competitions, I would suggest like looking at sports schedule or the sports state time dates and trying not to.
Well, if it's state, it doesn't come from me.
Well, no, not you. I'm saying advocate. If
Yes,
you can
gotcha.
advocate for that, I mean, higher, like bigger school districts, they probably are separate, but a lot of our kids overlap. So I know, and that's purely,
Oh, it's just my sports. Prom thing.
well, yeah. But I know I have a kid that has tried to do it every DECA, but she can't do it. It's always basketball state or,
It would be interesting to try and hold prom and that at the same time with the prom decorations that just for fun.
We can leave our decorations up. I will, thank you.
Some prom parents that probably wouldn't agree with that. I hear it gets pretty testy down there about prom.
I'll let you know, Dave.
Yeah.
I avoided this. I avoided it.
Okay, any other questions for Sue?
Thank you, that was really awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you very much.
And it was a great visit.
Okay, HMK pre-K site update.
Okay, so what I attached there is actually the schedule that Holly put together with Jill and preschool teachers about moving. Our target date is to be moving in on the 16th of January. That's our professional development day, so we're trying to get everything prepped and ready so that maintenance can really get everything moved over there on that day. It's a very hard date. I've set that expectation very clear. Holly also has echoed me and supported with that expectation. And right now, there's a couple of things that we're waiting on. One of them is that the storefronts, the outside exits. There was a problem with the oxidization and it gets way into chemistry. After that, I don't understand it, but we're still waiting for those to come in. Most of this has been a supply issue, and albeit it's been exacerbated with our submittal process, which is just something that you can expect when we have when you're working on a project with contractors that don't necessarily understand building public buildings and how those submittal processes work. So it's been a little bit of a growing pain for us there. But that is our schedule. That's what we're headed towards. I was in there, was it yesterday?
Yeah.
That we were in there, and we're moving right along and excited about that. And so far, so good. I think the turf has been really, really well received so far. It was interesting. Even we're in December, but I was looking out the window while we were down there and there were kids out there playing on it in short sleeves, and it was just like a summer day. And then on that green grass that would normally be dead or dirt. So so far, so good. Do you have any specific questions about it that I can answer?
So
Or that Holly can answer?
I guess the completion of the outside is what
Should-
percentage?
Um,
Welding those
We're,
things.
I think I could go back and look. I want to say 98, 90, 97, 98.
Oh, exterior was 98.
98.
We're gonna open that parking lot.
As soon as that stainless steel rail is complete. And yes,
Been on it every day.
well, I'm,
Then they were waiting for some more pieces. They gotta buffer it. and all
Is this home in the front?
yes, and I will absolutely say I had no idea that it takes that long, as I've been watching it, and I share your frustration.
Paint dry.
But
I had talked to Matt about possibly doing like an open house for the community. And then that might help. We might get some more enrollees of preschool, or, you know, something that might, it doesn't have to be right away. It can be
it was,
at the leisure of,
it will be after we have moved in.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we have had that discussion. I have not had that discussion with Holly, but yes.
I think people are excited about seeing it.
Yep.
It is their money that they're, you know, spending to
Absolutely.
do, and even the turf, you know, inviting the communities to look at the but that little preschool, you know, the little
Crack,
crack,
that's pretty cool.
that is really cute.
To be fair,
So-
we have bribed children to, you know, jump on it and see if it's soft. Actually, I think it was your child. Never mind.
Was it mine? Oh, yeah, he did do that. He did a knee slide.
Mhm.
Just so much for-
So this little ditty down here about this tour at night.
That's specific to
To the teachers.
the
and
staff,
Yeah.
not you guys. Sorry.
That's okay. It was just there, so.
Mhm.
Today was Thursday. It should be Thursday.
All right, and then the other part, and then everything's done on the north side. That part.
That part is done.
That part is done.
Mhm. The north side is done.
Okay. Trying to think of A, B, C.
And I know
D.
you're aware of this, but just for everybody, that last 2%
Yeah.
just seems like it's the biggest 2% when you're trying to complete a project. So,
And live in a house that is.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. Any other questions about HMK pre-K site updates? Okay, next. is District 1 and District 5 board seat are going to be on the ballot in November 2026. That currently is Dave and Kathy. I can't remember your one.
I'm fine.
1 and 5.
No,
But you're
no,
District 3. Oh.
I screwed it all up because I wanted over here. I like.
I didn't know, there was never really.
Okay,
You're
Two.
I'm fine.
So,
Thank you.
to put your name in, what is that called? To
File.
file, thank you.
January,
File, it's like the first week of, open for a week
in January.
in January. But
They'll be sending you something out. I talked to them.
they will be,
No, they should be
Yeah.
already.
Emily will be sending out a packet.
if you ask,
Well, we were at Rotary. She seems to think that those people, well, anyway,
Oh,
I told her to be specific to me, but I can certainly get
is
you
it
one.
Emily?
Robinson, but she's
Oh,
new
youth
at
garden.
Valentine.
So what's her job? What, is that the county clerk's office?
She's in the clerk's office, yes, and she's at the front right there now. She moved up from there.
so I wouldn't think, I've never received anything in the mail, so
It would be different because,
they would,
and there's some rules and regs and laws that are out there from the state. I don't know. And it has to do with affiliations and all these other things. Because
Yeah.
it's just not us.
Yeah,
It's
school-
everybody.
yeah, but school district is different than
Yeah,
county commission.
it
You
is.
don't have to get the signatures. We're not,
Right.
we are
And
unaffiliated
Yeah.
and,
Right.
so no signatures. Usually there's a filing fee of $50. There's a conflict of interest, thing to file. Then you have to be there in person. As I learned
Yeah.
a year ago. Or 2 years ago.
It was kind of crazy for me last year because I was given it and they were doing, I thought, the best thing they understood. I was given information that was wrong about signatures and that kind of thing. And then the state like opened it for longer.
Only county
Yeah, I mean,
commissioner,
unaffiliated.
not
But I was,
school board.
but I was being told that. So
Yes.
anyway, it was very confusing. for me.
Information does
Yeah.
get skewed, and so,
It was very confusing for me at first.
and sometimes the clerk office doesn't have, because the state makes,
Yeah,
different rules.
Emily's well versed in it.
gotcha.
She's very specific and trained.
And that's not
She's-
who I was working. She's new, she's one of our deputies. So I'm
And so let us, if you're intending to file, just let us all know, because usually you
Good to
can
know.
knock on doors to get someone to try to file. Jenna, who was a write-in candidate.
I got 7 votes. Only telling 3 people.
Alright,
Well,
think about it, sleep on it, babe.
there's no sleep.
Okay, oh,
I either do it or don't. And I already committed to doing it, so there
okay,
you
great,
go.
no, that's what I wanted
It's
to know.
it's just that I will just say this, okay, may I? Because as I was telling Kathy and I've told Matt, it's a very big learning curve to be on a school board. There's so many policies and procedures and budgets and different things. You go to the city and you're on a city council, you got a little job here and there, and it's not as intense. So it takes years just to learn. And so there's a lot of money and time invested in us. And I'm really excited about the national get together. And to me, if I'm gonna go to that, then it's money invested in me learning something if I get reelected to be here. So it's important to me. Otherwise, I just say, okay, I'm just gonna be a lame duck and do the best I can here. But, I'm gonna give it another, let's keep the meetings to a minimum. I'm gonna have to go fishing. My daughter's gone. I'm gonna be 73. So anyway, but no, I believe that if you don't stay 2 terms, you haven't done anything on the school board.
Yeah.
Seriously,
All
it's
right,
a tough business.
Thank you for that.
tough business. All right. All right, next is the board member conflict of interest reminder
Yes, we get that.
information, so that is attached, there's
If you-
at the bottom of it, there's
Is
a,
there?
There's a link there,
there's,
docs.
Oh, there it is, yeah.
If you remember, we did this last year.
Yes, we did.
It is specifically laid out that needs to come to me. I'm the custodian of that. And I have the ability to punitively fine you $100 or something if you're late, so. But let's get serious on it.
And then you post it on our website,
It'll get,
So, you have a question?
And that's by January.
I'm trying to remember this thing. here.
Yeah.
and so if you have questions, you can also print that out and do it by paper if you would prefer, or fill out the electronic document. But if you have questions or concerns, get with me and I'll help you answer those as needed.
As long as they're not counting, cookie and baked good donations
You're okay?
to board members, because I did get a bunch of extra. So I think I'm good.
Okay.
It's bribery.
All right, next is Mid-America Pipeline update.
So Mid-America has been something the board has been dealing with for a number of years now. And we're happy to be able to tell you that it's coming to a close. The board does have some options on this, just for everybody's refresher. Mid-America is a centrally assessed property. They have built their assessment with the state of Utah. It's been in dispute litigation for a number of years. And we've known this was coming. It's nothing that we did or have any control over. We just have to see where the chips fall. And interestingly enough, they fell right in the middle of our last board meeting. And since then, Jerry and I have been working and reviewing our options, talking with Mr. Coffin over at the city, and then at the county, excuse me, and then also working very closely with Pat and his experience in this type of thing. That being said, Jerry's going to take you through what are the options at a very high level, and then what our recommendation is.
Okay, so our total school district Mid-America settlement, this is for the years 2018 through 2022. From Chris Kaufman, it is our understanding that this is the final settlement for that disputed period of time as Mid-America. So the district's costs are basically our portion of that refund back to Mid-America is a little over $1.9 million. So
Including interest.
including interest, you have to pay back including interest. So
That includes the interest.
that includes the interest. So that's the total, that's the district's portion of the total refund basically back to Mid-America. We have 2 or 3 options, and nothing is set in stone, and you do have the option at any time to change our mind. But on the second page there, it goes through the Mid-America repayment and so like with our levies, our different levies, what each of those different levies will end up basically having the revenues reduced. The recommendation at this point in time is that the district we just pay for the Mid-America refunding. And what that means is we just receive less money in our property tax revenues from the state. I'm not going to send the state or Mid-America a check for $1.9 million. Our property tax revenue just gets withheld from the county to repay that portion of the money. There are options that we could do. We could do a judgment levy. We can pay it, and which is my recommendation at this point in time. We could do a combination of different levies. All of that stuff does go through truth in taxation, which you would still be taking less property tax revenue right now because truth in taxation doesn't happen until June and August of next year. So anyway, the second page there is just kind of a repayment idea. If we receive less property tax funding, which we'll receive $2 million less than the state basic levy, which is what the money we receive from the state, will receive a little bit more from the state.
I can't get this up, but
Yeah.
I can't.
I think it's locked. It looks like it might be locked.
Oh, I opened mine. Sorry.
Mine's spinning too.
Here.
It's just because it has a little lock thing, whereas these don't have lock things. So it makes me think that one and the other one might be locked.
The lock thing is
They should be.
Should be.
it's
Well,
locked because it's confidential at this point, and
doing that.
it's a member access, so you would be able to access it.
You have to
So
log in.
we must have an issue with technology.
I have 2 copies.
Well, no, it's not, nobody can get it.
I can get into other
This is
documents.
the settlement we got from
Yeah.
the county.
Okay.
This is the. Oops,
Yeah,
sorry.
right, it just.
Yeah,
Like it's not, it's like it didn't-
Yeah, so there, yeah, I'm not sure why you're just spinning, but anyway,
Did yours open? You must be important. Ours didn't open.
Yeah.
It just took a minute.
Yeah.
but
Sticking on
anyway,
that.
the thought process is that we just receive less funding, less property tax revenue in this next year. We will get a little bit of money from the state, so basically the net that the district would be receiving in property taxes would be about 1.4 million, because the state basic levy would contribute an extra $475,000.
This is all.
When? Next year?
They'll give us that in like April.
Oh.
So, moving forward, so.
So we're getting less in tax,
But we'll get
but
more
we'll get
state
money
basic
because we
levy.
get less in tax.
Because we get less in taxes.
And to talk, just a little.
400,000.
Just-
Is this what's connected that we're not, we don't get open?
Right. So as you look at that plan, and I can send it out to you, again, this is a direction that we're recommending. Just to kind of reiterate and make sure that we're all on the same page. We do have the authority to do a judgment levy.
Right.
Right now, I don't feel with the political situation in Moab with some of the struggles, like, I don't know, saw the article in the paper about the county, and them being at a deficit. I just don't feel that it's the right thing. And so we've kind of stepped away from that. We did consider the different types of things you could do to soften that and go that route, which would be combining a judgment levy with other changes to our levies, because they both require the truth in taxation. That again could soften a judgment levy, but at the end of the day, it's still a judgment levy. And so looking at this, looking at what our fund balance is at, looking at the fact that we'll recoup some of that through the state, our recommendation would be that we, in essence, pay it right now and out of our fund balance. It still leaves us in a very strong position. That's why we keep a fund balance, or we keep a fund balance at for these unforeseens to be coming up. We knew this was coming. We didn't know how much. But again, that's our recommendation. So
Information question, not for, just with the judgment levy. If we were to decide that would be current year judgment levy, or next, it would be placed on next year's
have to-
tax.
yes, it would have to follow next year's
So
truth
you
in
basically pay
taxation.
it forward.
Next year's truth in taxation, even though he needed information.
Mhm.
So
soon.
what he would, if we chose to do a judgment levy, he would not withhold our
Oh,
property tax.
oh, he was just, okay, it was,
that's why they needed to know.
okay, it
Because
wasn't.
it kind of depends on how they're gonna plan moving that forward.
Okay,
So we would continue to still receive our monthly revenues and until that point in time, yes.
And for further clarification, technically, and we don't need to get into it, but because of the fact that this is a revenue impact and not an expenditure impact, the board doesn't have to formally act on this. That being said, we want to make sure everybody is well educated and understanding the direction that we're wanting to go, that we're recommending to go, moving forward. So if there's questions or heartache or heartburn, get with myself or Jerry, so that we can.
while we're not voting on it, we will, if the budget is open in March, we will
You will
be
be,
voting on a
yes.
budget that would reflect
It will
the different,
reflect,
the changes.
it will reflect the revenue.
So,
Yes.
while it's not a direct, it's.
Yeah, you
But
will,
we're
you
still.
will be looking at your major updates,
Mhm.
not major. updates.
Yeah.
So that you can.
It-
receive-
yeah,
you
it'll
have-
be, the March's budget revision will show a decrease in revenues.
Which you will. Perfectly clear?
Mhm.
You guys have any questions about kind of a new different thing that we've really never. But. Okay. All right, bond refunding report.
Wait, so now that you've had to spend a little extra money you weren't planning on,
the bond refunding was successful and will save the district about a little over $2.8 million on interest over the repayment. It's kind of been a long process. It started in September and we officially closed the bond and sell yesterday morning. And so the final numbers are, I had that in front of me, 2.8. Anyway, that will also be part of the budget revision because I'll be sending a new debt structure when we do the budget revisions, but there's 14 years left on the bond. We left the 10-year call in place, but the savings are like $2,828,000 is the interest savings that we did by refunding the bond to the district over that 14 years. So
What is it yearly? Did you just say that?
no, the payment changes yearly
Oh.
because principal and interest.
So, okay, like you
so-
answer this, the 2.8 is
Is the
over
full-
over 14 years.
That's the
So
interest
you could-
savings over 14 years.
Kind of. Like 14, but not really.
But there will be new in the budget in March, have a revision and updated bond schedule and repayment. That's
So the
part of-
payments will go down, you know, did you say that?
I don't,
By a certain
they'll
amount?
go down a little bit,
It'll just
compared
be-
to now.
There'll just be more principal.
More, yeah, I have the new bond schedule. I haven't compared it side by side with the old bond schedule to
Well,
give
that's
you
gonna be
accurate
2.8.
numbers, but,
Yeah.
anyway, so that is done. It was, honestly, if I'm being honest, it was a really awesome process to just like be part of and see how it works on the backside of selling securities and bonds instead of being the purchaser of those. And so it was a learning process for sure. Kind of learning how the New York Stock Exchange works on the selling side. So anyway,
So, and I think Jerry's underselling a little bit. This is fantastic news. You know, had we just been idle and not done anything, we wouldn't have had the opportunity to increase these savings. It did take a lot of work. It took a lot of work on Jerry, keeping her nose to the grindstone because of how complicated it is, the requests that are coming in and how time sensitive they are, and the mountains of information that we had to review. Presentation that we put together was actually an awesome opportunity to shake off the dust and really dig down into the mechanics of Grand County School District and how that actually plays in with the greater mechanics of Grand County in a whole. Kathy did a great job in supporting us in that and going out there. And really, it's just, you don't get to be, I mean, it's sad to say, but you don't get to be super positive about something all the time in board meetings, so this is just great. It's awesome. It really is. And you guys gave us the ability to do that. So thank you. And yeah, just follows.
I have requested, you know, a dumbed down version of like a press release, you know, not too technical, but hey, we saved this amount of money.
And see, and I wasn't, just because I'm superstitious, we did have that conversation.
Yeah.
But I wasn't gonna even entertain it until we closed.
Yeah, sure.
So it closed yesterday
But
at
I
2:30.
mean, I think it's important that people know that, you know, that.
and Alex from Zions has a book that he'll be sending me that's called the pricing book that has all of our presentation, everything from the very beginning of the process through the end and the cost of everything that I will share with you at the next meeting. Or I'll have it at my office if you want to come by and see it.
We're happy to copy cut still out of that and get
You know,
some news out there.
give it to the
if that's
paper.
what the board like, so.
And yeah, I mean, they never come from meetings, but maybe they're listening. Maybe they listen after the fact.
That'd be good. Anyway, it was awesome. So thanks. It was really
Good
great.
job.
It was a really great opportunity.
Right.
Very good. It's not fun for everyone, but if you're a numbers person, it was really good. Want to read today? That's all I'm saying. No, it's like we're in the right position. Yeah, it was fun. That was fun.
All right, next, legislative priorities, Grand County School District legislative priorities discussion.
So this is just an information piece, as we start to really ramp up, you know, the legislative session will start here in a couple of weeks. I brought a couple of examples of legislative priorities. We had the opportunity to attend a legislative luncheon for our area. We didn't have the number of legislators that we'd hope show up, but that didn't stop us. Didn't stop me from getting on the stump and sharing my 2 cents, as far as it's really difficult because they gave me a limited amount of time and asked for only 2 initiatives, while asking me to advise the legislature on what I would like them to do. And my list is a lot longer than 2, and it would take several days to go over. So trying to finalize on a couple of options that we may or may not have any impact on, but just continuing to bring it to the forefront and drive attention to it. So as you can see here, the number 1 issue that we shared during our time was just special education funding, and the fact that historically it's never been funded fully nationally on the federal level. It's never been funded fully on the state level. And what can we do? Because we're just continuing to see difficulties, not only with staffing, but increased behaviors, just really a big challenge that we're facing on the day-to-day. And so just asking them to look at if there's anything they can do. I was actually pleasantly surprised. Senator Hinkins mentioned maybe looking at the Health and Human Service budget, because it's actually outpacing public education right now in the state of Utah. So I'll be interested to see if that gets any traction and what we can do. We would clearly jump on that.
Is he on that committee?
He is not on
He's not on the Health and Human Services.
and so my second priority that we focused on, and this is in line with virtually every district in the state, and that is just helping our or requiring getting the legislature to give us the at-risk funding that they have promised us and agreed to, that's never been delivered on, because every district, including Grand County School District, uses that source of money to try and find creative solutions to support special education and other high need areas that we're facing. And I tacked on a couple of cheap shots at the very end. Free and reduced lunch and where that is at the state level. Because there was some legislation that ran last year, and they did pass a bill that made it so there is free lunch or not, or not free lunch. So if you were eligible for reduced or free, you were getting reduced or free, you were getting the free lunch. And it's causing us a little bit of hassle to try and track that, because systems aren't set up to track that. And so like other districts, we're struggling with that, but I'd like to see, if there's initiative there to really look at solving that problem statewide. And then finally, for Grand County School District, I threw a line in there about cybersecurity. I don't know if you guys are following, but there's a couple of different cybersecurity bills that are coming down the pipe. It's obviously a huge concern. We've seen districts in the state of Utah lose $6-7 million over a cybersecurity attack, just like that. In the process of researching this, I found out just an interesting point for information, probably not very useful, but we do purchase cybersecurity insurance above and beyond, and our deductible on that right off the gate is $70,000. And so clearly it's a concern, and it's a concern about training our employees and making sure that we're being proactive. But it's really also a difficult concern or challenge for rural districts to deal with the economy of scale issue. There's not a surplus of these people highly trained in Grand County, and when we can get them here, can we afford to pay them type of deal? So we're really reliant on the Southeast Service Center, and we're really reliant on UEN to try and protect ourselves and be as proactive as we are. So those were what I shared. Obviously, it's not all, but I just wanted to update you guys on that. If you'll go to the next document, the JLC, which is the Joint Legislative Committee, which is comprised of school board members, superintendents, business administrators, USB leadership. These are the priorities that as a group they selected. And if you just kind of scroll down, establishing an education working group that, again, finds those solutions to the family, community, parent challenges that we have, always asking for as much money as we can get on the WPU. There's the at-risk, fulfilled prior commitment to at-risk that I mentioned earlier. Keep scrolling down if you will, Shane. The Economic Stabilization Fund is a fund that's really interesting. It's set there to help us with major funding shifts as a state. And asking them to create that plan and make sure that it allows 85% of the funds to go directly to the LEAs. The Superintendent's Association on this point has asked for $100 million allocation out of the Economic Stabilization Fund to be directed towards safety and security and House Bill 84 compliance. It sounds like a large amount of money. It is a large amount of money. However, if you look at the requirements as they are currently presented in Representative Wilcox's bill and following through under Chief Matt Pennington, it would take approximately 800 million for every school in the state to become compliant with that. So again, just that, and then collaborating on a long-term educational funding. If you have followed it over the past several years, there's been jockeying, whether it's constitutional amendments or different bills that are kind of making the educational funding less sturdy than it has been in the past. And then also on that note, and at the meeting that we attended, Senator Higgins was very clear that educational funding is a big concern and that we're looking at a pretty tight, dire year. Both Melissa and Jerry were at that legislative luncheon. If you guys want to talk legislative priorities at all?
The only thing what I thought was interesting, but not really, I mean, that, who was their carbon, Emory, San Juan,
And then the charter schools.
and some of the charter schools, and most of the priorities like that Matt presented, everybody had the same priorities. So I think that's a good thing when USBA has, or the JLC has their priorities, and it's the same one as rural, our rural group. So I think it was pretty united voice. And I was impressed with Higgins he remembers everything and people, and so very approachable guy to be, calling, reaching out, texting, emailing, phone calls. So
And I think he was fairly honest. I mean, he didn't try to like lay false expectations and hopes, but he didn't try to do all doom and gloom. He's just like, here's kind of what it looks like now. Here's some places where you might make some inroads, when he gave us the Health and Human Services idea, and here's here's where I would be most effective in helping you advocate. But it was pretty.
it was unfortunate that it was only him,
Yeah,
and that it
it was
wasn't
so sad.
the two other.
Were there
Right.
any other legislators?
No, just him.
They were all invited, but it was just him.
So
Where was it? It was in Price.
right.
The service center up there.
So that's my spill on those. Again, as the legislative session ramps up, that's where you're gonna get your biggest bang for your buck, is reaching out to our local legislatures. If you have ideas, thoughts, concerns, also, as always, come see me in the office. I'm happy to talk and help look at the different initiatives, or just be a sounding wall for you, because sometimes other stuff has been tried and they don't know about that. So always welcome.
And we will put on our agenda starting when it starts. It's an ongoing agenda item of what's going on.
Legislative update.
Late legislative updates.
With the cybersecurity, so the school safety bill that Wilcox passed, or bills, did any of that, is that all just physical safety, or does that include at all any cybers?
That does not include cybersecurity.
And how much of our cybersecurity is done remotely? Like I'm sure some must be able to be done remotely.
We have a good technology crew that's working on this. Primarily Seamus and Colton do fantastic
Mhm.
in this area, and they really go above and beyond and stay ahead of the game. We also provide access to training for them, like sending them to SACON to be
Yeah.
up to date on the latest and greatest. We rely heavily on SCSC, which is Jeremiah Moore. He's the tech person for SCSC.
Do they provide remote cybersecurity or just
Yeah, no,
education?
they're absolutely involved in helping us.
Yeah.
And then the UEN has kind of historically been the lead for that in districts, so using their resources and staff. If you remember right, and I should have put it on here, I had a page for that in our bond presentation about exactly what our system outlays and where the different partners are in that. So it's a combination of everything. The legislation does, one of the bills being run will require the districts to have someone in that position designated to do very specific things at the district level. It they take the back door out a little bit by saying, and it doesn't have to be their only job. The description's a full-time job description, but it doesn't have to be their only job. It can be, but they kind of sneak out the door with that. But yeah, I don't know if I answered your question or just rambled.
I mean, it's just like you say, it's hard to recruit
Mhm.
and pay people that are, have the capabilities. So we are pretty lucky with our crew, but it could be really hard to replace if just getting somebody to come down here
And these are
and
things
pay
that,
them.
these are things that are more on the tier 2 level, guidance and help that we'll get from like Onward.
Yeah.
As part of our
Right.
agreement with them.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway.
And we do, I point out that we do penetration tests, so we'll have like UEN come in and try and attack us.
Mhm.
But we're doing everything we can.
Any other legislative priority questions? Okay, next, significant updates to R2771-23, the process for members of the public to report violations of statute and board rule.
So this should be somewhat familiar to you. We're required to have a hotline to report violation of statute or any type of fraud. What I've linked there is just kind of their 2-page quick summary of this. There's a link to the rule right there on the page. And highlighting here specifically for you guys that you are required complete the required local board member training provided by the Utah State Board of Education. That link right here on this document will take you to that. On the right-hand side, there'll be required board training. I can also email that link out directly if it's easier. And it's just, I went ahead and went through it just so it's not too intensive. It took me about a half an hour. But you are required to complete that training and then let me know or Jerry know so we can keep that tracked for our documentation purposes. The other question is establishing the hotline. I'm not familiar historically with what Brand has done concerning this hotline. In my mind, in the back of my mind, I thought we had a link on our website that was really easy to access. I haven't been able to find that. I don't know if it was there at one point and then left, but it's something that we'll be bringing back. My recommendation to this body is that we would use the state education hotline. We could set up our own, but that would be one more thing for us to man. And by us, I mean Nishay. She does not need that. So facilitating and following the state education hotline going forward. We do have we are required to have a policy. Grand County School District has developed I guess it's It's a policy and guidance. It's not included in part of our general district policy, the running into a number of things that are like that. But we'll be working to modify, and correct as well. So don't be surprised if a portion of that comes back to you as a proposed policy that would fit in your typical policy.
Tell us, it's the public education hotline LEA training,
Yes, it's on the right-hand side.
required hotline, the YouTube,
Oh,
and it all, oh, I just clicked
that's
on
right
it.
here.
There, on the top, let's see, no.
Yeah, the required hotline training is
Yeah.
Maybe I'll just do this,
No,
required hotline training.
There's a lot of stuff there, so.
And you can, above that, the link above that is a PDF of the training, so you can print that out and read it while you listen along.
Go back.
That's.
Oh, okay.
Right here, right here.
In November.
Training.
Oh, thank
Yeah,
you.
you-
And I wrote it
right
down in
there.
our.
Yeah.
I don't see, I don't.
Yeah, we
I did it. I did.
Which
Yeah,
one
audit
are you
committee,
saying it
though.
is?
It's the.
We did the
new
audit,
board
but I don't
members
remember the
Audit
hotline.
training, and it was in.
No, I think it's a different one. I think that's
No,
different.
it's the same, I'm sure of it.
Audit?
Yeah, because, in,
Show me on the spreadsheet.
what one it is?
I'm happy to provide clarification.
Mod, so this is right here, module 1, module 2. We're talking about this one right here. It's a different one.
Oh,
Is
it's
that
not
different
on it.
references?
No, I haven't, it's new, this is new.
So on the left, you have the audit
Okay,
training.
okay.
that you're
Yeah.
required.
Yes, that's what we did.
And we
Okay,
have done
sorry,
that.
sorry. I was
On,
confused.
on the right, and so,
Oh,
Here you go.
Me too.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I have not added it because
Okay.
it was not.
But how do you prove you did it? If you just watch the YouTube
you
video?
watch the YouTube and you tell me you did it.
Oh,
So don't, I'm giving you, you know,
okay.
Scouts honor or whatever the
I will
term
do
is.
that.
And
It's
it,
only 15 seconds. Oh, no.
So,
and then, but please do put it on the,
On that
I'll
list.
add it to the spreadsheet and then, that to me is also double.
Okay.
Because is that, in the policy, did it say annually or just once?
I believe it,
Annually, I think.
I was gonna say the other way, so let's find out.
This says complete it. Complete the required board member training. But I guess we should look at the RSA.
I'll link on that spreadsheet.
Because I've been kind of using that, just.
Yeah. I just haven't done it because it was, Wanted to double check that it wasn't the ones we had already.
I know, it's right when I finally figured it all out. I've been so, but it, now.
When you're done, we'll have you restart.
Mm-hmm. Well, and maybe
Okay.
a good time is,
I hope I'm doing something.
like, a January for.
I know.
Oh,
because you finished that trip. Yeah, I finished one.
Well, it wasn't even in
But
effect
I haven't
until August.
finished the other ones, but I finished
Yeah.
all, everything.
So it's brand new.
yeah, it's right. Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah,
Okay,
remind me.
remind you. All right. Grand County School District Policy CBL, time and effort.
So, I'm gonna have Jerry talk about this a little bit. I don't know what the word is, not frustrated, but our time and effort policy, well, we don't have a time and effort policy, quite frankly. And I was surprised to learn that, the USBA's model policy that touches on procurement doesn't get specific enough to meet the needs of this, specific task. And so Jerry has been working with the state office and Jill. And this policy has been put into a format. Turn it over to Jerry to talk about it a little bit.
Time and effort, if you work in certain programs, you are documented and required to show time and effort in those programs. Those are specifically federal programs. We have been following the USBE guidelines, and Jill, help me if I don't say it right. And that's all that we could find. We recently went through a Title III audit. Small amount of money. We weren't written up for anything fiscally, but we were written up for not having a formal time and effort policy. When they informed us, they said the states was guidelines. Each district was supposed to take those guidelines and make their own policy beginning last January. The the great thing when we visited with the state is the lady that gave us our time and effort training said, 67, was it 67%?
Yeah.
67% of the people that she has audited so far this year, none of them have a time and effort policy. So it was her job to help us be trained on how to create that. So this is, there are several things that you had to do with this time and effort policy. I researched some, Jill researched some, and the lady at the state office was really helpful in saying what needed to be cited and what federal codes we had to use. So this is basically just formalizing the guidelines that we were using before. But we do have a couple of big audits coming up in January and February that we need a formal time and effort policy for to be completed also. So
This is a first reading
this is the
basis.
first reading.
It will come back next month as an action item for approval. So, this, yeah.
Would this question?
Beacon?
No. This mostly includes our title programs at and the IDEA programs, and a lot of HMK is the biggest benefactor of this, but the IDEA programs at the middle school and high school also for the staff that work in those specific programs. Anyway. We have to have it, we have letters, the staff has to sign that. Work so much time in that, that's what this is, just formalizing what we already document.
Yeah, and just to reiterate that, this isn't a departure from what we have been doing. It's just adding it to policy to check a box, you know.
Okay, any other questions? This is first reading, so second reading will be at work session in January. Okay, upcoming board site visits discussion.
We couldn't access.
Yeah, it doesn't come up, but that's okay. Just gives you a big,
Everybody access.
Error.
it's a big area, like something's coming to get us. Apparently, like you're not supposed to be at the sites, the cyber stuff.
Yeah.
The cyber attack.
Jerry, it's up on the screen.
Oh, okay,
I was able to.
there you go.
What access do you have?
I don't know, well, on your Delaware community, this.
Are we gonna work on the timeframes?
Oh, maybe that's why it's on there. I don't know why I didn't put it on there. So starting in January, we're through here. We have a preschool, we've moved that to preschool. And then beacon, bus, kitchen, technology. Dave has a conflict at when we do a 1 o'clock meeting. It doesn't look like any of those are 1 o'clock.
Except for the last.
Have to in May. So if we.
Plus, it's more chance of students being in class than when we were.
Oh, yeah. So our preschool is at 10 a.m. That's a good time for preschool.
What is TBD? I mean, what's. So that's why this is up here.
Oh.
It's because that date that would typically be on is the same day.
Right.
So that needs a new date. That board meeting on the 18th and that visit date would typically be that 16th. That is our second winter break. Transportation, the time is to be determined because Anna won't make all of your guys' schedules
Right.
to determine when that's gonna be. And then, the technology CTE youth garden, we've just always done that at that time, but
We can change that time.
we can change the time.
We went to HMK last year. So we usually change
Okay.
cafes.
Okay,
So if we want to go to the middle school, and the high school doesn't have. Okay, if we want to change that one to the middle school. And then figure out the time of lunch.
15th, is there anything special on the 15th?
April, you know your April's schedule, huh?
It's the
I plan my whole year out at the beginning of the year.
And it's in your brain.
It's the 13th. That's the visit.
Oh.
Yeah, but testing doesn't change your schedule.
So
Where do you think you want to?
And that's fine with me, because it is, our meeting schedules. are
7th,
complicated.
11th?
It's the 13th. 13th.
13th, sorry, I'm flying.
Well, because it's over here.
We're at conference.
We're at conference, so we're gonna be gone.
Yep,
Oh,
Both work.
okay.
Seventh grade
Will
is
you
11
go?
o'clock, eighth grade is
No.
12 o'clock, your guys' pick.
You didn't take out the.
Can you put that on
Oh.
the calendar, right?
Sorry. In my mind.
Do you guys want to do it a different week? Do you want to do it the week before?
Thank you.
Sure.
This is like 13.
What is spring break?
I'm watching.
The first week of April.
Well, Carrie, that's not really your.
Wait, that conference is.
No, but I still like to let my kitchen manager know and
Yeah.
so kind of pay attention. 'cause
Yeah,
it's
we
so
need to tell
nice.
Sarah though, who will be if we do it, either we can do it on the work session day on the 8th, or our board meeting is on the 15th. We could just move it to a Wednesday. So we do
doesn't
it
matter to me. It's not like-
Which date is?
April
April
8th or 15th is what I'm.
Oh, but those are Wednesdays, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I
I always have Wednesdays blocked.
Oh, you do have Wednesdays?
Yeah.
That's why I was Wednesday. Like since
Mondays,
we're
Wednesdays,
already,
always blocked.
so.
Spring break is.
Any suggestions? We want a board meeting day or work session day? Matter? Let's do it on the 8th.
Yeah, because
Which grade is a board meeting on tax day?
People who don't
might as well just. say-
have to file taxes.
So the 8th, you said.
So it's the eighth.
The 8th,
Eighth is fine, because there's nothing there, period, besides.
you guys, you're flying out the next day.
Oh,
Yes, they fly out on the ninth.
The 9th, okay.
Oh.
And then,
So then the preschool site visit.
the preschool site visit, what are we determining? Oh, if the date is
So
wrong.
19th is.
Okay.
There's no.
Well, I want you to consider with the preschool, we're moving that week before.
Mm,
So you may not want to come visit that.
What day do you move?
The 16th through the 16th through the 19th.
Maybe that's what.
So the 21st is not a,
Well, it's a Wednesday,
when do they start?
Well, they're hoping to be moved.
Yeah.
We're hoping, yeah.
so we're gonna,
But we're considering canceling Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of preschool that week. Because of the move, to give them 3 days to put their classrooms together.
Let's move Beacon,
Which month?
yep, switch months again there. We'll put them in February.
So we're gonna do.
yeah, it's not so we're gone.
Break. We'll get there, guys. Get us.
Here, come on.
One at a time.
So now date for the beacon.
So the Beacon's gonna have to be after school, so we can't do a work session, so. We're in January. It's gonna be the 21st. At 3:15.
You wanna do one on the 21st?
That's
Yeah.
a Wednesday.
Board meeting. We can meet. It can't be the Monday because the Monday is a holiday.
Okay.
So just be.
When we could do it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to. Block of it.
Okay.
That might be 3:30. Usually, sometimes, for night visits, they're not running,
Snacks.
Right.
they're doing snacks and we don't wanna see.
It's also mentoring.
What's that?
It's also mentoring. This is GAM. I was trying to figure out what.
Yeah. All right, so then February is not a good day as well. There's no school on the 18th. So the 11th, possibly.
So we're having a board meeting. That's what I'm.
Yeah. At this point, we could possibly just move the board meeting to the 11th. And that
Why
works.
are we having a board meeting on? Why is there no school? Oh, it's the middle of that break.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's the second winter break.
Oh.
What is a
We
good
put up-
time for
oh,
preschool?
for preschool in the morning, so 10:30. Who's in charge of preschool?
It's 8:30 to 11 or 12:30 to 3. I suggest you come in the afternoon.
Okay.
To see.
Okay.
A much larger group of students.
Okay, 12:30 to what?
3.
3. When are you available?
On what?
Oh, that's a Wednesday.
That's a Wednesday. I mean, it's fine.
Okay,
It's just we have a board meeting that day, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's at 5:15, so we just have to accommodate getting here.
Wait, that would be the work session.
yeah, but we might have to,
Are we gonna do
we
a
might move it.
budget?
So let's just say that 1. Can we do that 1?
What date though?
1? Preschool 1 on 2/11.
Okay,
Maybe I'll see issues.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
The question will be if we're having this meeting date. That's what I see. Do we want to talk about that right now?
I don't think we should.
You want to just change it to the work session? The board meeting will move to the 11th
in January, or February.
in February.
You only have one meeting, is that what you're thinking?
Do you want to still have it at 5:15 or you want to, keep it at 3:30? 3:30? 3:30. Board meeting. 3:30.
And then we won't have a budget meeting.
And then on the 11th.
Is that gonna give us?
Two.
Go to
Well,
school and
early.
I'll have one, well.
Your site visits at 1, 2,
1 to
no,
2,
Not do a finance
we
meeting.
won't do a finance meeting.
2 to
then.
3.
That does make it harder for parents to come to sooner.
Yeah.
But we could do it
They
later.
don't, they didn't.
Yeah,
So
they're really
if-
hard late.
We could, even though we're only having one meeting, we could structure the first part of that
As a work
to
session.
look like a work session. And then, on the
Let's do
agenda, have a break at 5 and reconvene at 5:15.
And
Kind
we could structure that work session to look like an audit meeting, potentially. You could do,
You know, budget, right?
The finance
Or-
committee.
the finance committee could be a part of that work
Part of
session,
that work session, that report.
just to give us,
Mhm.
and that'll give, if there's any question, I think it's good. It's good learning
It is.
for
Well,
everybody.
because then the budget's gonna be coming the next month
Yeah.
anyway.
So that'll be at what time? So we'll start at 3:30,
Yeah,
and
and
then we'll
then
have a break of some sort or whatever.
we might have maybe we'll break at 5
Come back at
ish
5:15.
and come back at 5:15, so that
Okay.
clear is, did we figure it all out?
I think so.
My calendar is not up to date, but
It will be.
I know,
I'll fix it.
well, I have my own. But you're gonna put it in Google and I'll import it.
And then I'll make all the changes.
Okay.
So nothing on the
Public
18th.
notice of the site.
No. So 18th is gone, right?
18th is gone.
Okay.
And we'll talk about it next month as
Okay.
well.
I'm just trying to.
Okay.
Board committee reports.
I have a question about clinical safety. And this is what we're doing,
Yeah.
right? So a lot of some of the coalition, some of our committees that we're on, I feel like we can give like a quick summary of what took place and what's happening. With clinical safety, it's, it's so big, there's so much going on and what Libby has. I don't know, I feel like there needs to be like more time to like present what clinical safety is really doing, what Libby is doing and how it's kind of amazing that we have this happening, you know, with that she's worked, she has EMS, the police and all the principals and everyone. I feel like it's hard. I could sit here and give a quick summary, but I don't know, it just seems like, does anybody have interest in really wondering what's going on with clinical safety? And if you do, I think we should maybe either.
Are there
I don't know.
notes? Are there,
Yes, I mean, yes, oh, Libby has it all like slideshows, I think, yes.
but no, are there minutes? I mean,
Yes.
Yes, there
Jill-
are, yeah, Jill does a great job with that. That might be really important, do that.
so we just need them. I think
Okay.
if we start getting minutes emailed to us, I don't know if they're necessarily, especially with clinical safety,
Mhm.
if they're should be put in a public document, if there's.
Well,
Um,
something like that we
yeah.
could put with the lock.
Yeah.
Where you have to look into why you guys can't, when you see the locked ones.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah, I think definitely.
but
Here's, on that recommendation, I'm happy to look at providing, whether it be access to those minutes or a summary of things discussed.
yeah,
And then if board members would like additional information, schedule a meeting with myself, schedule a meeting with
Okay.
Libby. Either one of us, to just kind of update you on the specifics. There are some things,
It-
that are discussed in clinical safety that, not that we don't want to be transparent, but that you don't necessarily want to be making a public document or shouting off the rooftops, especially when we're talking about a hot wash or debriefing an incident or how we would prepare to handle. So we'll have some discretion there, but always, I mean, if you want more information, feel welcome.
I guess that's what is how much information do you want to know? And again, everything's being recorded, you know, so there's definitely, I don't know, but there's some amazing stuff happening that I think would be really great if the board knew about it, but yeah, it's how much do you want to, you know? Anyway.
well, I
But
think we
basically,
start
I
with
can give you-
some,
Yeah,
yeah,
I can just, I mean, I can give you some of the brief stuff that I wrote down with Libby as the, you know, the security director now. And, I mean, she's working very closely with all of the emergency services and, Stealth is very much so. Right now, let's see, one of the things we talked about was just working on universal language. So that when they're using terminology, that it's consistent, you know, with all the schools, all of the emergency services.
And Lily, can I jump in for a second on
Yeah,
that?
oh, please.
So, I think I was surprised after I got the debrief on last month's clinical safety. The state has adopted standard response protocol. Grand County has been using that for a number of years. And through this communication, we found out that maybe some of our local interagency partners are not familiar with that or are not using it. So that's the common language we're talking about. What does a lockdown mean? What is a secure, what is? Versus, so anyway.
And we talked about we reviewed over a checklist that was suggested. Is that also that's by the state, that checklist that, you guys remember the checklist who, Jill?
SRP, right?
Was that a state? Was it a state? No, it was.
Yeah.
It was standard one.
Yeah, just making sure that that all the agencies, I guess, are familiar, not just the schools, but all the other emergency services. So we're just, again, it's sort of streamlining everything and making sure we're all on board with everything and saying, yes. Which really felt like that's where we're moving to. It's like lots of, you know, your schools do it this way, EMS, and then come in together afterwards, debriefing and all that. So it's just really a lot of great things, I think, happening, you know. Yeah. There's just a lot.
And I would just echo on that and really, I think we had some difficulties last year in communication even though that was the goal of clinical safety, and we have addressed those and really gotten off to a great start. Especially when it comes to health related for and school security chief. And so, yeah, clinical safety is definitely doing a lot and moving very quickly in a very good direction.
Yeah. It's sort of hard to summarize. Because there's a lot. Like, without talking for 12 minutes.
Okay,
I attended the Great Coalition meeting and mostly the events that I adjourned. We did discuss the SHARP survey, a little bit, like those results. And there was an online training.
I think that was really good.
Yeah, just kind of the overall set of results and the website.
but not our specific
Not the specific.
No.
brand.
Yeah.
But
When are they gonna
we'll be
do that?
Getting those, we'll be getting that, right? They say so.
You have that.
The results
The
of
SHARP, the local SHARP.
I do not know if I have the results yet or not.
Okay.
So
But it's
we
coming.
usually will get, I mean, I like to get a presentation. But the question usually was who's gonna present it, and I've had good ones and bad ones. And they're focusing all on Utah. When specifically, we would want to see more brands. So if you get too higher up, the people, they're focusing on you. So
We got some, but with what was it, the webinar, the Zoom, I felt like we got some really good information about how they're using it and just.
well, and
looking
you
over-
probably, I've just heard,
Yeah.
yeah, I've heard.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
done very. But, and that's not schools, that was, through, who did that? Was a coalition group that did it, that had that had the Zoom.
Yeah. Well,
But anyway, it was not locally done, it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. Put that on that list of presentations at some point.
It's on the list.
Kathy, finance, we had the finance meeting today and you heard all about it.
Yeah. Stuff there.
I will say that Jerry is super into the whole finance thing, and it does sound like it was very, I mean, it sounds like it was pretty cool.
It was cool.
She
Glad
explained
you like
how
that.
we were listed on the New York Stock Exchange, Grant County School District, amongst all these other things that are on the stock exchange that had like billion-dollar, like I don't know what you're saying, Connecticut.
We're tiny.
We had $20 million, but people were buying our stuff. They were buying our bonds. So it's kind of, it sounds like it was very cool. Anyway, so.
It's cool. It was cool.
Yeah.
The pricing calls were cool.
Yeah, anyway, so you got to hear about it?
Dave?
I attended all 3 community councils. I think we canceled one this month. Thank you.
Yep.
Have something to do. And Education Foundation, I do those as a liaison, not as a voting member, just to kind of get a feel for things. But everybody's moving along, getting rid of all their money, getting ready to do budgets, figure out what's gonna happen next year.
Grand Education, what are they doing? Grand Education.
You know what, right now, we're, can't remember. I just got a note from them today, I just can't remember what it was. Did the scholarships, and there are some things that they have to put money to because people have given the
Specifically.
Specifically
yeah, to
for that.
Directed giving.
and I know they're working on some things for
Mhm.
trying to get it together for specific scholarships for automobile and that sort of thing, so, but yeah. They've been pretty minimal. The last, this meeting's over, not gonna happen. It's my Pilates day, so it's.
They've usually do your annual fundraiser, but they haven't done it. in a
No,
couple
I
years,
don't know what they're gonna do about it.
So they gotta
I
raise
think they're
money
getting,
first.
I think they're
either way.
getting funds from sources,
Mm.
some foundations and different things, more than trying to do the spelling bee and all that stuff.
Who's on the board? Well, it was the Maggot show that was there, one of the, wasn't it?
Well, the spelling bee was a big one, but
Oh,
forever.
this.
The donkey
Magic-
basketball.
Yeah, and they did some, I
Magic show was really.
don't remember the magic show.
I remember that.
Oh, they did it forever.
You mean,
That
Oh.
guy.
Anyway, who's on the board, who's on that board now, still?
there's
Is it still Mel?
Mel is running it,
Okay,
and me and Steve is still on there,
okay.
Steve,
Kennedy,
Kennedy, oh,
Kennedy.
good.
and I could look it up and give you a whole
It's
list.
okay,
but
that-
I really,
the main characters,
I
perfect.
just attend. And they ask me questions and I give them answers to the best of my ability, or I send them to Matt.
And they still probably get the city market.
They do, I mean, they're getting sources of funding.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're not less funded than I think they've ever been.
You gotta check your city market card often. Sometimes it will push it off.
I haven't done that forever.
Negotiation is we didn't have, it got pushed to January, so we had in November, but we reported. Business administrator report.
Couple of things coming up. One, budget revisions will really start hitting pretty hard in January. I got mid-year updates in November from Sue. I've for CTE programs, mid-year updates from the state legislature through USBE came out in November. I work with Jill about every week. We do a variety of things. Sometimes we look at budgets, sometimes we do reports. Sometimes we talk about upcoming audits and information we gotta gather. I have met, I send out program reports to all of the admin once a month after the reconciliations are done. We are moving forward into January, where they will hear a lot more from me as I move into budget revisions. Goal moving into next year, I do it with Carrie already, is meeting once a month, going over your budgets and where you're at. If once a month is too much for those admin, then we'll move to quarterly, but definitely going into definitely just, I've been in communication with all of them, but as we move into next year, it's gonna be more often. Other thoughts? Do you want anything else?
All right. Superintendent report?
I don't have anything prepared. I think you're pretty much aware of what we got going on. The HRS is a huge priority. One of the things that was brought up in public comment that we have been looking at, Kari, myself, and Ron, is the 8-man football. The board has received some information on that. I received some information months ago and started looking into what that would be like and how feasible that would be. As we continue to look into that, I've been in contact with the coach and trying to get some quality feedback from the football community here in Moab, so to speak. That's something that I anticipate bringing to you guys next month with a recommendation and hopefully a decision. Because like was mentioned earlier, whether it's having an independent schedule, what that looks like, trying to time things up for realignment. There's a lot of different entities and schools, USA included, that we need to be informing them of a decision sooner than later if we're going one way or the other.
It kind of sounded like that was like an either or, but like, could we do 8-man and have an independent schedule?
So 8-man would actually require an independent
okay.
schedule because we wouldn't be jumping into an 8-man classification right now.
Okay.
So either way, if you went that direction, you would be looking at 8-man or independent, excuse me. You could also, the recommendation might come back that, hey, we're gonna stay at 11-man, but we're gonna go to an independent schedule so that we have the ability to turn teams down and not have that responsibility through the Utah High School Athletic Association.
And it sounded like we couldn't go to 8-man like for next season.
Yeah. That's misinformation.
Oh.
What I'm hoping to come back with is enough information for you guys to be able to make a decision or point us in a direction at next month's board meeting. So that's taking up. Other than that, yeah, we're rocking and rolling, heading in some really positive directions district-wide. And yeah, going from there. Another idea I'm gonna float before I forget. I've done it in the past. I don't know how it would fly here with kind of being a smaller size district, and Jen and I actually talked about it in one of our meetings, is a monthly submission to the newspaper about what's going on in Grand. And so that might be written from a district office point of view, 1 month. And then next month it could be administrators, I hope you're happy, we're gonna talk about it tomorrow. It could be coming from, the high school or HMK or student services, and where we're at is we kind of have those things. Maybe every month is too frequently, maybe it's every other month, but I have utilized that. It's just a communication to make sure the community knows, what's going on and what we're doing, just to be more transparent. Also, it just doesn't have to be the newspaper. I'm not tech savvy enough to do it, but I'm sure Nisha could put it on our Facebook page or whatever other socials that we're on. I'm not sure. The
Not
Google,
everyone is on Facebook.
the Google. So.
The interweb.
Just, kicking the tires on some ideas like that. So, yeah. And then like always, if you guys have questions, please swing by my office.
Okay, thank you. Monthly reports are attached from the campuses, principals. What? Whoa. Any questions on the preschool / special ed?
Tell us about the city of Moab visit.
What did you say?
Tell us about the city of Moab visit. Was it?
Oh, we go over to the city of Moab.
Or-
No, they're awesome.
You mean the city
We walk
building?
our preschoolers over there. They give us books for our little preschoolers. We go over there, we sing jingle bells.
Oh, but is this just a December thing or?
We do it in Halloween, December, and then we do it in the spring. And the city gets funding from a grant that they write so that they purchase the books for our preschoolers.
That's great.
And yes, they do it for us, and I believe they do it for Head Start as well and the Montessori, because we're also close right there. They give us books for every single kid. And they all are in the hallway, the police, everybody. It's awesome.
Do you have to bus over there next?
Oh, no, next year, yeah, like, I'm like, oh, no, we walked.
Yes, that would be,
We managed to walk all the little people. It's fun. But, yeah, next year we'll just have to bus over somehow, because they love doing it for us. It's fun for the kids. It's just fun. And the library, we go to the library, and it's.
Okay, HMK's board report for December attached.
Holly, I just kind of curious about the GI.
About what?
About the GI issues you mentioned. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, we've had a lot of stomach issues.
yeah, but that's, it's not something like Nora or.
No.
That's.
No.
It's in high school right now, just so you know.
Yeah. And we
And the
sent
cough and the
kids
cold.
today.
It's
Yeah,
just hitting hard.
yeah.
Nothing like to be scared of.
The kid.
Oh, gotcha. You said you wanted it.
Any other questions for Holly?
Can I just point out a huge?
Yes, please, please do.
If you turn to the page, where it has math, has the Acadians math growth.
Yeah.
I just want to celebrate
Yeah.
my teachers and the growth that they achieved from, 2023 to 2025 was pretty incredible. And I've been watching the data as it's been coming in for middle of the year today. And I'm so excited to share that data with you next month because we have outstanding growth already. So there's.
Awesome.
No, that's it. You're coming.
Yes,
It's one-
it's coming.
Yeah.
You're getting it.
So is this, what program are we using in math? Is it new?
Yeah, so this is their second year with both math, Eureka squared, and then also their second year with a new ELA curriculum, which is CKLA.
Great.
Yeah, they adopted two.
Yeah.
I'm on the wrong,
That one.
Yeah, it's further down.
it's further down. I'm
Way
like,
down. Yeah, me too.
okay,
That's what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. So
thanks, sorry.
And we have two of our kindergarten teachers here, but our kindergarten rocked it. First grade players here, like they rocked it. Like it's incredible data for them to have that much growth in a year's time.
That's
Wow.
great. That's wonderful.
Is that the, so is it a test that would be taken the same time? When was, so end of year would have been last year?
So the 2024 scores would have been the end of the year of the 2024, 2023-2024 school year.
Okay.
This one, the 2025, would have been the 2024-2025 school year.
Which is, yeah, what year?
No,
last year.
Okay.
Okay.
So we'll have some
Wow.
more growth data for this
Wow.
year.
That's amazing.
Aren't looking there.
But, and so the 4th through the 6th grade takes the rise, so that's.
Correct, yeah, so we
Yeah.
won't have Acadian's data moving forward in math for our 4th through 6th grade. We'll have it in Rise and iReady, which I'll share with you. But that was just one piece of data that they collected the last 12 years, just to kind of get a baseline of where everything was. So.
What's, I'm just looking at the second grade. That's like, that's like huge, right? I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
wow, is that a
Negative.
mistake? That's what I'm asking.
Positive.
Like, is this a mistake?
No, it's
Holy
not.
cow.
Yeah, kindergarten, that was all three of them.
I mean, yeah, they're not just the only one,
Right.
I'm just, yeah, that's amazing.
Well, what's great with this is
Oh,
that it's,
kindergarten.
you're measuring the same kids too, right? Of what's like sometimes when we're
Yeah.
looking at end of year to end of year, you're comparing different kids, different things, but this, these are the same kids
Yeah.
that are taking that.
That's really amazing.
But why is there growth for 2025 when they didn't take it in 2024 or?
No, they
For-
did, it's for the it's for spring of
May
2020.
of 2020.
So it's the 2024-2025
Last
school
school
year,
Okay, the
but it was
growth,
taken
okay,
in the spring of
I see.
2025, so end of the year data.
and they hadn't taken that before, correct?
Who hadn't?
The 4th through the 6th grader, is that?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
There's a lot, Holly, hold on.
I know.
Okay. Let's see. Middle school, December report. Now these rise reports that everybody's putting on here, they're the same ones, right?
They're from last month, yeah, I just keep them
That's
on there
okay.
in case you're.
I just-
They're like.
well,
wait,
that- yeah. No, I just need to know, like, am I looking at new ones that are,
I can put like
different?
asterisk new next time,
well, we only take rise
end of year,
end of year.
yeah.
We did have new data released though, last month, just around writing, but that would
Okay.
be only for 5th and 8th grade.
5th and 8th.
Mhm.
And how did that look?
We're at state average,
8.
our last year's 8th graders, yeah.
Okay,
The 5th was slightly lower.
okay.
Oh, I don't know if I updated that slideshow, but I do have friends from 3 grades from.
So
Any
the,
questions for me?
well, so the middle school, I'm looking at the summative the Rise summative data. So, but it's all grades 3 through 8, and you're reporting on, no, you're not. You're only reporting on 7 and 8, even though it says grades tested 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
So are you looking at,
Looking at your bar graph. So as Rise summative data, there's 20,
it probably is just because we had to do a screen clip, a clip of
Okay.
the screen,
Got
and
it.
that
But
is an
your
interactive button on the Rise.
But it does say
website.
test taken 650.
So that would be 600 kids, 650 kids in the district for those grades you see. And then when you hit that button on the Rise website, if I'm looking at the right, or thinking of the right.
Can you click on that, Michelle?
There you go. So are you looking at that screen?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then you would hit the test name and it would drop down all the grades, but that's on the Rise website, not on this slide.
All that interactive.
Yeah,
is
So-
this just your data? Is this just 7 and 8?
no,
No,
that's
it's
just the
every,
test names for you guys to see.
so it's,
So it's
all the
grades that
grades.
you-
okay.
But if you scroll farther down, it is.
Oh,
And then we've even delved deeper and we looked at, so right now that just goes by subject levels, but we were curious on what it looks like by students. And so I created a graph that goes from, depending on where they're at, it goes from some from their 4th grade to their 7th grade year,
Oh.
some from their 5th grade to their 8th grade year, and some from their 6th grade to their 9th grade. So
Wow.
I'm adding those right now, if you guys want to go back and look. Forgot to add those to the public slideshow. So I will do that right now.
I don't know. On Diligent, is that a live document, Michelle?
First,
Yeah,
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 hers is live.
yes, because it's a link.
Oh, okay. And the PDF has the little paperclip, and those aren't live.
Yeah, that, yeah.
Okay.
So attachment.
Okay. Any other questions for middle school? Any high school?
What's the citizenship letter? I didn't. Not opening.
No, that's the other through Google, verify.
Verify access.
This is a letter that we're sending home to parents explaining the citizenship process.
Is that a new process?
It is not a new process. We've had citizenship for the last 25 years.
Have we not been doing it? Is that
Well,
the-
no, what's new is solidifying the standards around it. So if you talk to teacher X, they'd be like, everyone just gets an honors. If you talk to teacher Y, they'd be like, if they miss 3 of my classes, they get and needs improvement, you know. And so we just, the staff wanted to put some structure around what does an H look like? What does an S look? You know, and this is honors, satisfactory, needs improvement, or unsatisfactory. And so the letter just simply describes that we are kind of putting this around our process for citizenship.
Is it so is a rubric kind of thing?
There is a rubric kind of thing, and it's shared with the students, and so they know the goal that they're trying to hit. And they know
But it's not in this letter.
the letter is just simply an explanation. The rubric is not.
Is it in the student handbook?
The citizenship
rubric.
rubric is in the student handbook. Yes. And they did just update that so anybody with the link can open the letter.
Do you have the access to the rubric? You can email it to,
Yes.
or I can look at the student handbook,
Yes.
if that's an updated thing, or if that was already in there.
It was in the student handbook
Oh.
this year. We've definitely, as we started to use it, right,
Yeah.
we've tweaked it.
Mhm.
So we originally did not publish it with points. And then we have some teachers who are just like, well, that would be a 0 to me, and it's like, well,
Mhm.
you know, so we now updated it with points, so let me see if I can.
Okay.
Updated one, if not, I'll send it to you. Whatever you guys.
I feel like, I know these are budding adults, but, I think communicating this information, like the rubric, I know the kids know, yeah, but the
Yeah.
parents also, helping their kids get to school on time. I mean, they still are, some of the parents are the ones driving them to school, or, tardies are an issue. That's probably on your rubric, I would
Correct.
assume, right? And absences and that, so I think, just communicating that to the adults in their lives. And sometimes they're, as a parent, we have to sign the disclosure every class, and so, I think if those are attached, they'll probably be attached. But they're communicating.
That was shared with the board, but we've since updated the citizenship.
Oh,
Yes, but that is correct. That was,
citizenship plan.
that was it. Yeah, that was shared back in June or something, right?
I think it's great. We're trying to make everybody the same. I
Yeah,
think that's
good.
the other thing about getting disclosures from, 5 different
Yeah.
teachers, and they're all different.
Yeah,
And then, how you can't teach consistency
right.
with your kid,
Right.
there's gotta be clear expectations, I think, so.
For sure.
Yes. Whatever they are what they are, but the consistency, so. Thank you. Okay. Oh. All right. Next, any other questions? Okay, consent agenda. On the consent agenda is are the minutes from September 22nd, November 12th, November 19th. So those are board meeting and work session minutes. We have a personnel list. We have the financials from November, check register, expenditure report, and revenue report. And no out-of-state travel. I'll accept a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Well, second.
Kathy Williams makes the motion, Dave Burchett seconds to approve the consent agenda. All those in favor say aye.
Right.
Aye.
Discussion.
Oh,
Now.
Forever.
that passed 5-0, but what's your yeah, it's not, you just want to have a question, I bet.
Who's the librarian agent?
Yeah.
There,
Oh,
there was 2.
Dan is a full-time librarian.
Librarian did special.
okay.
Okay, no action items, communication?
Oh.
Laura,
Oh,
you have
yes.
any communication?
I wanted to mention the board sign up for, that's, for attending, the middle and high school and elementary, meetings and such.
Yeah, you emailed that
Yeah.
to us.
Well, no, I didn't.
You
So I emailed you something,
Oh.
a question, but,
Okay.
anyway, that will be coming. I had a slight difficulty today. I lost some data.
Okay,
But anyway, I have it all back up. I should.
okay, so
But
we'll
I
start January.
Yeah, I'm just
With-
doing it in chunks like January, February, all that.
Okay.
But I didn't get anything from Kari. I'm still waiting until high school meetings and stuff, because I have everything from middle and elementary, HMK.
Did you hear that? Were you saying yeah?
So I'm
to
still
her?
waiting.
I heard you.
Okay.
So if you could, get to me.
You just, I shared the Monday meeting and the Friday meeting with you guys. I took it back because we're switching our Monday and Friday again.
If you could send that something to me directly, because I'm typing it up into a form for us to sign up. to attend things that you guys all have, so that you're not all there at once.
So we don't
Right.
map out and.
So we're
have a
like,
meeting.
yeah, yeah, and even if it changes,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
time changes,
yeah,
we can
yeah,
message. Okay, thank you.
Okay,
I attended the Economic Mobility Partnerships Roundtable, which was really great. And I did send, a link, over email.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, the data there was really interesting. I did, even if you don't read it, just check about what's going on in our county, in the whole state. And then I
can I
also.
share that? Is that a shareable, like that was handed out as a,
Yeah,
that was.
yeah, and it was actually the woman who works for the Gardner Policy Institute, the Ken Gardner Policy Institute. So she was, or they were hired by the state to compile that. So yeah,
Okay.
yeah, sure. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah.
And then it was sort of about Promise Partnerships Utah, which I had never heard of before, that put on the economic roundtable or helped put it on. They call themselves a backbone organization. Public-private was facilitating people getting together and sharing resources. And what, and there was a woman there from the Moab Valley Multicultural Center, and she said, I don't know, she sent me the data. I was interested. She was talking about how they supply interpreters for the parent teacher conferences, especially at HMK. I just found it interesting. So she just sent me from October, and they had people that worked over 20 hours, and they served 74 adults and 27 youth in the parent teacher conferences just in October. So I just didn't realize that resource was being used so much in the school district. And then I also, they also mentioned the book, Trying Hard is Not Good Enough, how to produce measurable improvements for customers and communities. So that was, the Promise Utah people said that was their favorite book ever. So I haven't read it, but it was just it's just talking about sort of results-based achievements or whatever, and not, or the whole. So, yeah.
Who was there besides
It was pretty small.
from the city or the county? What other people were there?
Bill Winfield showed up for 15 minutes at the very end.
Okay.
But it was all nonprofits. So Annie from Our Village was there. And then the Moab Valley Cultural Center representative was there. And then a woman from Science Utah, which I really want to follow up with her and talk to her more about the Science to Schools program.
Okay.
To the school district. So they're working with the school district, just something I definitely know a whole lot about. And it's really, and they had brought some people from Kentucky that had so that's.
So it's an economic mobility conference or something? you
Yeah,
said?
partnerships, yeah, just.
So was it really though focused mostly on kids? Or
Yeah,
was it-
how best, like,
Okay.
it's Utah saying, how can we best serve the Utah youth?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so kids,
Okay.
in communities, and so this Promise Partnerships Utah is, they're willing to like help us out if, we want to work with
Yeah.
someone, and you know what I
Okay.
mean? But, yeah, it was very short, it was just a couple hours too.
Yeah.
So,
Interesting. That's
Thanks
great.
for the link, I mean,
yeah.
Yeah, I just wondered, you wonder if like, would they then facilitate if a not-for-profit or a school district or a whatever wanted to, can they help facilitate, I don't know, like projects or goals or
Yeah,
changes?
like they had, they don't want to do work.
They just want to
And a
show
lot-
you how to do it.
Yeah,
and
so
give you
Annie from Our
resources.
Village was there, and one of the women said, "Oh, I have an idea for you."
I see.
I see, kind of thing. Yeah,
Just
yeah.
curious.
And then I got really excited about an idea. You know what I mean? When you're in those sort of things, like, oh, that's what I'm gonna do, and like,
Well,
calm down. But, I made work of it. Yeah. That's great.
Um. The only thing, this communication event planning kind of thing is, with talking to you, Shay, about starting our, our invitation to community groups in January and asking them to come present for 8 to 10 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes. Even so, just thinking about like multicultural center, like
Right.
that would be something like, yes, we help this many students, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And then talking to you, we're gonna come up with some parameters of like what kind of questions or a presentation format,
Yeah.
not format, but
What we, what would
what
help
we
us?
what we want to hear about.
Exactly, yeah.
And
What does that look
so
like? Is that 10 minutes?
working with Laura Lee, I think you're gonna be our liaison to that. And if you
I need to talk, we should probably talk, me and.
Yeah. And so you don't have to, rely on each other.
And I'll be part of that as well.
And Matt's gonna be part of that as well.
Need something to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Um. Okay, advanced planning.
Does yours come up? No.
Oh, error,
It's an error.
error.
It's
and
another
they
error.
Rose over our fun.
I don't know. I have it shared so that everybody really can see it.
It's interesting, yeah.
And everybody else but the board. Maybe it's everybody else but the board.
I don't know.
It doesn't.
It's
hurt-
up
it
here.
doesn't
There we
hurt.
go.
You know,
Okay, so right now it is the board meeting.
Yeah,
Winter break starts on Monday until the second. Staff prep day, there's no school. On the 5th, that's a no school, no kid day.
Oh.
We were returned to school on the Tuesday. I don't know if you've had teacher questions about that, the 5th. Have you been fielding questions?
I'm not a question.
Well, I've pointed them to you because can't answer them. So
Teacher grading.
I don't know. If the teachers are asking, I don't know if admin, maybe admin cleared it up.
Teachers have been asking is if it is a staff prep day or if we have meetings scheduled.
Oh, I think that's an admin question, your admin, right?
That'll be at the discretion of your building administrator. Yes.
Yeah.
Well, do we?
Not a board question.
You're my building admin, that one.
Oh, I am not in that.
Okay, return to the school on the 6th. We have agenda planning on the 7th. Does that work? Kathy? Okay. Yep. We have our conference in Salt Lake on the 8th. That is 8. It's the PM. It starts at 6 or 7. Dinner usually is on your own. Dinner on your own, and then it usually starts at like 8. You're welcome.
what?
Sorry, 6, 7. You go 6 or 7? 7. Okay.
It's traumatizing, Gary.
I know. And then we're out on the Saturday, and usually you get out at noon.
Dinner, there's no dinner that first day? It's just
No,
they have
dinner on your own.
the thing.
And then they have
You're
a,
on your own, so yeah.
But they have like the.
they have a presentation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They have some-
It's
yeah.
that like fun.
So we usually meet in the cafe.
Okay.
And eat together. But then there's the lunch, the Little America or the Grand American lunch by Zion.
Oh, yeah.
And everything else is
Right.
I haven't gotten that invite yet.
No, I was looking for it.
What?
I didn't get
I didn't
one.
get one.
Cause I was trying to.
I'll email Ellen
Agenda?
The Zion's
for
luncheon.
the luncheon. I'll email Ellen.
It's good.
We all wanna.
They don't hurry over.
And get the table for everybody like I have.
That's right.
So, I did,
Oh, you emailed.
Invite like.
Y'all can.
I RSVP'd for everybody to the lunch.
Perfect.
Okay,
There you
great.
go. Maybe, yeah.
Y'all don't have to stay here and listen to us argue, like, okay?
Real personalities.
These are really important things.
These are.
Where we eat, what we stay is two things.
I don't know if we're talking about like driving stuff, but I'm going up the day before, so I'll be driving.
On the 7th,
Yeah, yes.
okay, yeah, we need to talk about,
I have an appointment up there, so.
clinical safety, probably being rescheduled, maybe? It's clinical safety on the 8th,
Yes,
you won't be there,
But Libby runs it.
Libby's over that now, so,
Oh.
okay.
okay.
We just won't have a time.
UASBO, that's Jerry. She has to go up early for UASBO.
Same for me with, the Superintendent's Association, the meeting that morning.
What's your acronym?
From seven, USSA.
No, that's just a quiz, just.
Okay.
Jerry, do you know, say the,
You as well?
yeah,
Is that how you say it?
Utah Association of School Board.
Officers?
Business.
Business officers.
The superintendents don't get a cool word like UASBO.
Okay.
Prevention committee on the 13th. That's you two.
Yep.
Finance committee on the 14th. Is that still on?
Since right now, yes.
Okay. And board site visit, we've rescheduled that to something.
I'm just gonna take that off and I'll read it.
Okay, and then our board meeting is. We have a work session on the 14th and a board meeting on the 21st.
Oh, I just kind of stopped writing. stuff
Yeah,
on
you
there.
stopped, right? Now, the really important things that we really need to fill out.
I must have gotten a phone call or something.
No board meeting or work session this next month. We could potentially,
My bad.
I mean, we will be in Salt Lake, we could potentially, I don't know. Let's just keep it on there for right now.
Okay.
Sure. No, we're not doing elections or anything in January or anything, correct? Inaugurations, swearing things in, people in, we're all in
we're
here
in.
and. Correct. No school on the 16th, no school on the 19th. I have a this is just for communication and thing, I'll be selling Krispy Kreme. Jerry will not, or Aspen, do not buy.
Don't buy from them.
Please.
They're not gonna, so.
Dib,
When does that start?
dibs.
I really hope you find that conflict of interest thing here. You're placing power.
The junior class, the junior class.
Start. When does that start?
Krispy Kreme, the 12th,
Of,
January.
All right, yeah, in case I forget.
Krispy Kremes, yummy yum. And then you can give them away.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
I
Go
will
to work. Yeah.
One or two and then give the rest.
Okay, sorry, I had to do that. Our main fundraiser. To buy Goslin or something, I don't know.
It's the junior class. It's not a sport.
No, it's junior class.
Oh,
For prom.
For prom, okay.
It's to decorate for prom.
Do they,
I don't know.
is that like thin stuff to cover? Do they get shipped to you or will they get shipped to us?
We will deliver them to you.
So they go to you then?
Mhm. It'll be a
Like,
big
you know,
ship.
they're now doing that whole thing where.
No, somebody
Is that
drives
by
up
one
and
of
grabs
them?
all the Krispy
Okay.
Kremes and brings them all the way
Maybe
back.
scale.
Yeah.
If you. That's not how it's done. It's usually like that.
Okay.
Maybe Jerry would quicker.
Hey,
That's good.
Oh,
stop.
Right, if they're gonna be a home delivered to us.
I know,
I mean.
all right.
I don't have a dog
like
in this
this
fight, so I don't eat donuts. and
What's your bone,
My-
man?
My daughter was doing it, I'd buy 20 of them just to get her some kind of a thing.
Oh, yeah, executive session, I'll accept the motion to recess for 10 minutes.
Make a motion, recess.
Not your slang, is it?
There's
No,
a
I
second?
couldn't
I
say.
second.
You're like.
Okay.
Kathy Williams makes motion, Laura Lee seconds to go to recess. All those in favor say aye.
Bye.
Aye.
If you're
5-0
a fan of those
recess at
slides,
7:51.
okay?
Yeah.
Yes, sure. Good night, guys, and good night.
Thank
See you.
Thank you. 26:44.
So at 11 and goes till 2. And then I'm looking for the 2 o'clock. You're welcome to jump in at the 11. You don't have a few minutes to say.
All this the other day that we talked about, I don't know what it.
Is the district office open next? You
Yes,
guys, some of you.
it will be partially, yes.
They won't be here
Like when,
like Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, gotcha.
Can I turn?
Kill it.
Are you hanging in on this one or?
Oh, there's part of it that I'm gonna run, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then
You need to move along?
I don't know what else is going on.
Not that I care. My kids are all in bed. Oh, thank you.